Hi and welcome back. Today it is time for me to explain as much as I can about. Wait a second, because it's a lot of books. It's time for me to tell you about the Ana Huang universe. Ana Huang, I don't know. I just know that I love these books and that I improvised this shelf because this entire shelf is dedicated to Ana Huang. So, let's get into it. Publishing order first. If I read them, what they're about, so I'm gonna read the blurbs. I'm gonna tell you my rating, and we're gonna go through them series by series and tell you all the connections in there. And then I'm gonna go through as many connections as I can throughout the entire universe, because every single one of our book is written in the exact same universe. They are all connected in some way, shape, or form. I wrote it all down on a Notion. We'll see. First, we have the If Love series, of which I have only read book 1, If We Ever Meet Again, and I gave it 3.75 star. I do not feel the urge to read the other books. Lots of people disagree with me, but I did not enjoy this one too much. Let me read you the back. 1 year, 2 opposites, and a love that will blindside and ultimately shatter them. She is an aspiring interior designer who dreams of falling in love. He is an ex-football star who thinks love is a con. She's a She's a virgin and he doesn't do virgins. He's cocky, infuriating, and not her type. She wants the fairy tale, he wants the freedom. Blake and Farah shouldn't have fallen for each What's going on? Blake and Farah shouldn't have fallen for each other the way they did. Totally, completely, and irrevocably. Because they're studying abroad in Shanghai, I don't know. And they only have 1 year. Because forces at home threaten to rip them apart, even if they don't know it yet. And because eventually they must face the most heartbreaking lesson they'll ever learn. Sometimes even the greatest love can't conquer all. So, this is her first book, and let me tell you, you can kind of tell. Sorry to say that, you can't tell. So the tropes in this are first proximity, friends to lover, interracial, and opposites attract. This is as stereotypical as you're gonna get, and I don't like it. Then we have Somewhere, I'll put the covers. If the Sun Never Sets, I've not read that one. This one's also about Blake and Farah. I do have the blurb on here. 5 years ago, he broke her heart. Now he'll do anything to win her back. When Farah walked into her lunch meeting, she didn't expect to see him, Blake Ryan. Her first love, her first heartbreak, and now her first client as a freelance interior designer. Yeah. It's been 5 years, but she'll never forget the way he shattered her. He whispers pretty words, but she'll never believe him. Her body craves his, but she'll never give him her heart. Not again, not ever. Money, looks, a booming sports bar empire. On the surface, Blake has it all, but inside he's haunted, both by nightmares of a tragic loss and dreams of the girl he once betrayed. When fate reunites them, he sees it as a sign. It's time to get the love of his life back, no matter what it takes. So, this second book is 5 years after this one. It is second chance, first proximity, and again interracial because, well, she Asian, he white. So that, I haven't read that one. Don't care about them, I'm sorry. I just do not care for Blake and Farah. So, then there is the third book. Which obviously I've not read any of these. If Love Had a Price. If Love Had a Price is about Chris and Nate. No. Okay, the blurb. I'm gonna guess, every heart has a price? Yeah. She offered him $10,000 to seduce her father's gold-digging fiancé. He countered with $15,000 and a kiss from her. at any time he chose. Chris should have said no, but she was desperate to get rid of her stepmother to be, and the gorgeous actor with the wicked grin was perfect for the job. So she agreed to his terms, not knowing that doing so would cost her a lot more than money and a kiss. He did it for the money, which he desperately needed. The kiss was just a bonus, or so he told himself. Melting an ice princess like Chris started as a challenge, but by the time Nate realized there was more to Chris than meets the eye, it was too late. He had fallen. But they're not just from opposite sides of the track, they're from different worlds. And when those worlds collide, Chris and Nate must decide whether they're willing to give up what they have for what could be. So, there's fake dating in this, there's opposite tracks. She's rich as fuck, he's not. Chronologically, this book takes place in between If We Ever Meet Again and If the Sun Never Sets, so book 1 and 2. This book can be read as a standalone. Just so you know, book 2 I don't think can be read, I don't know. Anyway, then book 4, the last book in this series, is about Sammy and Olivia. The blurb: 2 exes, 1 house, what could go wrong? Or what could go wrong? I didn't know what could go wrong, you know? Olivia had a plan: MBA, Wall Street VP by 32, marriage and 2 children. Preferably twins because #efficiency. Not in her plan, losing half her belongings in an apartment flood and being forced to turn to her ex for help. Definitely not in her plan, moving into said ex's house and watching him walk around shirtless, bake her cupcakes, and look at her with those smoldering... Wait, what was she talking about again? Between his bakery and meddling family, Sammy had enough on his plate without bringing the ex he'd never been able to forget into the mix. When Olivia asks for his help, he couldn't say no. He could, however, make her regret breaking his heart, as long as it doesn't do anything foolish like sneak into her room and kiss her senseless. As passion slowly replaces their dislike for each other, Sammy and Olivia discover their part isn't what it seems, and their past isn't what it seems, and their future is anything but certain. Can they overcome their pride and give love a second chance, or is history doomed to repeat itself? So, Sammy and Olivia, it's an Asian romance, first proximity, they're roommates, and second chance. This one can also be read as a complete standalone. Then it's time for some of the connections within this series, so within the If Love series. I only have 2. Sorry. Again, I didn't read these books, so I don't know too much. Farah from book 1 and 2, from this one and the second one, and Olivia from If It Were Perfect, and Chris from If Love Had a Price are all like besties. And then Blake and Sammy, so Blake is from book 1 and 2, and then Sammy is from If We Were Perfect, are also best friends. That's about all the connections I can get. Okay, so that is it for the If Love series. Again, I've only read book 1. I didn't enjoy it. To me, it's not necessary. Lots of people say it's necessary. I don't think so. Then, the extremely popular Twisted series. I love this series. This is definitely my favorite series as of all of them that are out right now when I'm filming it. Book 1 is Twisted Love, which I gave 4 stars. Let's read the back. Let's read the blurb. Discover the addictive world of the Twisted series. What happened there? Alex Folklove is a devil blessed with the face of an angel and cursed with a past he can't escape. Driven by a tragedy that has haunted him for most of his life, his ruthless pursuits of success and vacancy leave little room for manners of the heart. When he's forced to look after his best friend's sister, he starts to feel something in his chest. A crack, a melt, a fire that could end his world as he knew it. Eva Chen is a free spirit trapped by nightmares of a childhood she can't remember. But despite her broken past, she's never stopped seeing the beauty in the world, including the heart beneath the icy exterior of a man she shouldn't want. Her brother's best friend, her neighbor, her savior, and her downfall. Theirs is a love that was never supposed to happen, but when it does, it unleashes secrets that could destroy them both. and everything they hold dear. So, Ava and Alex. The tropes are billionaire, brother's best friend, forced proximity, grumpy ex-sunshine, interracial, morality chain, neighbors, opposites attract. Let me tell you the plot twists in here are insane. Like, completely, fully insane. There is some light, dark romance stuff going on in here. Does he unalive someone? Yes, he does. In a way, he does. No, not in a way. He definitely does. He's like on the mafia side of it, you know. She's just a cutesy little sunshiny girl. Her nickname is quite literally Sunshine. So, book 1. Book 2 is Twisted Games, which I gave 5 stars. Also, the Twisted series I have read more than once. Let's read the back. I love this book so much. My favorite by far, out of all her books. Discover the addictive thrill of the Twisted series. Stoic, broody, and arrogant, elite bodyguard Reese Larson. It's Reese. Did I read it as Rice? So. Throughout all my reads? Absolutely. Has 2 rules. Is it Reese or is it Rice? I forgot. Rice? It's Rice, I think. I think I read it as Reese. Anyway, confusion, there's a lot of stuff. He has 2 rules. Protect his clients at all costs and do not become emotionally involved. Ever. Well, that failed. He has never once been tempted to break those rules until her. Bridget von Ashburg. Princess with a hidden fire that reduces his rules to ash. Day by day, she breaks down his defenses. He swore an oath to protect her, but it's not enough. She must be his princess, his forbidden fruit, his every depraved fantasy. Regal, strong-willed, and bound by the change of duty, Princess Bridget dreams of the freedom to live and love as she chooses. But when her brother dictates, she's forced with the prospect of a loveless political marriage and a throne she never wanted. As she navigates the intricacies and treacheries of her new role, she must also hide her desire for a man she can't have. Her bodyguard, her protector, her ultimate ruin. Unexpected and forbidden, there is love that could destroy. Theirs is a love that could destroy a kingdom and doom them both. So, Rice and Bridget. This is a bodyguard romance, forbidden romance, age gap, around 10 years. I think she's 10 years younger than him. For first proximity, rich heroine, royalty. This book is the best. Shh. I forgot to read the quote I wrote down. The quote I wrote down is, "You are the light to my dark sunshine. Without you, I'm lost." And then this one. "Trust me, princess, I would rather end my own life than ask you to do anything that might hurt you." Bridget, they together changed the law so that they can be together. That is a high standard to set, okay? Wow. Gorgeous. The spice in this book too. So this is my favorite. If you cannot tell, I love this one with everything in me. I cannot shut up about this book. Also, just the cover is so pretty. It's very too much like this. I need to calm down a little bit. Then we have Twisted Hate, which is book 3. I forgot. Let's read the blurb. Oh no. How much did I rate this? I cannot remember. 4. 4 stars. Discover the addictive role of the Twisted series, blah blah blah. Gorgeous, cocky, and fast on his way to becoming a hotshot doctor, Josh Chen has never met a woman he couldn't charm, except for Jules Ambrose. The beautiful redhead has been a thorn in his side since they met, but she also consumes his thoughts in a way no woman ever has. When their animosity explodes into one unforgettable night, he proposes a solution that'll get her out of his system once and for all. An enemies with benefits arrangement with simple rules. No jealousy, no strings attached, and absolutely no falling in love. Well, it's a romance, so like the rules. Outgoing and ambitious Jules Ambrose is a former party girl who's focused on one thing: passing the bar exam. The last thing she needs is to get involved with a doctor who puts the sufferer in insufferable, no matter how good looking he is. But the more she gets to know him, the more she realizes there's more than meets the eye to the man she's hated for so long. Why did I say it like that? Her best friend's brother, her nemesis, and her only salvation. Not my fave of the series, but that's okay. The tropes are enemies to lovers / enemies with benefits, best friend's brother, forced proximity, and interracial. So Josh is... No, I'll tell you that in a second once we reach the connections. What did I write down? There's also a lot of plot that was really twisting. Plot. This one has a little less plot. This has a lot more plot. The monsters in our imaginations are often worse than those in reality. Josh Chen. Oh my god, the twisted men are next level. Then we have the last book, which is Twisted Lies, which I gave 5 stars again. The blurb. Charming, deadly, and smart enough to hide it, Christian Harper is a monster dressed in the perfectly tailored suits of a gentleman. He has little use for morals and even less use for love, but he can't deny the strange pull he feels towards a woman living just one floor below him. She's the object of his darkest desires, the only puzzle he can't solve. And when the opportunity to get closer to her arises, he breaks his own rules to offer her a deal she can't refuse. Every monster has their weakness. She's his. His obsession, his addiction, his only exception. Words are hard. There you go. Sweet, shy, and introverted, despite her social media fame, Stella Alonso is a romantic who keeps her heart in a cage. Between her 2 jobs, she has little time or desire for a relationship. But when a threat from her past drives her into the arms and house of the most dangerous man she's ever met, she's tempted to let herself feel something for the first time in a long time. Because despite Christian's cold nature, he makes her feel everything when she's with him. Passionate, protected, truly wanted. Theirs is a love twisted with secrets and tainted by lies, and when the truths are finally revealed, they could shatter everything. There's a stalker involved in this book. Fake dating, because they fake a relationship for her socials. He owns the apartment building. Morality chain, billionaire, neighbors, roommates. Gorgeous book. Basically, the entire thing is she's getting stalked and he protects her. And he has money. A little thing. Step aside, Ava, or I'll... Careful how you finish that sentence, Harper. Alex Beard. Stella is heartbroken. She goes to Ava because Ava is her friend. And then that happens. Anyway, so... The biggest connection through all of these books is that all the girls in these books are friends. They're a friend group of 4 since college, since they were roommates, I think, in college. Ava, which is the FMC in Twisted Love, and Josh is the MMC in Twisted Hate. They are half siblings, which is the big spoiler for the plot. What's going on? What's going on? Reese, MMC in Twisted Games, worked for Christian MMC in Twisted Lies because he owns a security company. Reese worked for him. Rice worked for him, whatever. Josh and Alex are best friends. Also MMCs in both of these. And then Christian, MMC, and Jules, FMC. Jules gets in some trouble and Christian helps her out. That's the Twisted series. Okay, I love it. Then we have the Kings of Sin series, of which I have book 1 through 4 right here. There's another book out whilst you're watching it, but whilst I'm filming it, it's not out yet. So you know, don't know much about it. First up, King of Wrath, which I rated 4 stars. She's the wife he never wanted and the weakness he never saw coming. Ruthless, meticulous, arrogant, Dante Risto thrives on control, both personally and professionally. The billionaire CEO never planned to marry until the threat of blackmail forces him into an engagement with women he barely knows. Vivian Lau, jewelry heiress and daughter of his newest enemy. It doesn't matter how beautiful or charming she is, he'll do everything in his power to destroy the evidence and their betrothal? Her words. There's only one problem. Now that he has her, he can't bring himself to let her go. Elegant, ambitious, well-mannered, Vivian Lau is a perfect daughter and her family's ticket into the upper echelons of high society. Marrying a blue-blooded Rizzo means opening doors that would otherwise remain closed to her new money family. While the rude, elusive Dante isn't her idea of her dream partner, she agrees to their arranged marriage out of duty. Craving his touch was never part of the plan. Neither was the worst thing she could possibly do, fall in love with her future husband. That sounds weird, doesn't it? So, the tropes are arranged marriage, billionaire, dislike to love, forced proximity, interracial, rich heroine, roommates. Yeah, this is an arranged marriage one. A quote, "You can't live your life trying to please others. You can be courageous and respectful, and you can compromise, but when it comes down to it, it's your life. Don't decide." Dante and Vivian. Then we have King of Pride, book 2, which I also gave 4 stars. She's his opposite in every way and the greatest temptation he's ever known. Reserved, control, and proper to a fault, Kai Young has neither the time nor inclination for chaos, and Isabella, with her purple hair and inappropriate joke, is chaos personified. With the crucial CEO vote looming and a media empire at stake, the billionaire hair can't afford the distraction she brings. Isabella is everything he shouldn't want, but with every look and every touch, he's tempted to break all his rules and claim her as his own. I don't know if you've realized, but the trend is the guy has lots of rules in his head and he falls in love and he breaks the rules. That's all the books basically. Bold, impulsive, and full of life, Isabella Valencia has never met a party she doesn't like, or a man she couldn't charm, except for Kai Young. It shouldn't matter, he's not her type, but the man translates classics into Latin for fun, and his membership to the exclusive club where she bartends means he's strictly off limits. But she can't deny that beneath his cool exterior is a man who could make her melt with just a touch. No matter how hard they try, they can't resist giving in to their forbidden desires, even if it costs them everything. Yeah, so basically every book is the exact same plot with different characters. Sorry. Opposites try forbidden Asian billionaire. The only thing that existed in Kai's absence was nothing. That's this one. Then we have King of Greed, which is book 3, which I also rated 4 stars. He hit her, he lost her, and he'll do anything to win her back. Every book's the same, okay? I'm sorry. He has everything. No, powerful, brilliant, and ambitious, Dominic Davenport clawed his way up from nothing to become the king of Wall Street. He has everything. A beautiful home, a beautiful wife, and more money than he could spend in a lifetime. But no matter how much he accumulates, he's never satisfied. In his endless quest for more, he drives away the only person who saw him as enough. It isn't until she's gone that he realizes there may be more to life than riches and glory, but by then it may be too late. Kind, intelligent, and thoughtful, Alessandra Davenport has played the role of trophy wife for years. She stood by her husband while he built an empire, but now she realizes he's no longer the man she fell for. When it becomes clear that she'll always come second to his work, she finally takes charge of her life and puts herself first, even if it means leaving the only man she's ever loved. What she didn't count on was his refusal to let her go, or for him to fight for their marriage, no matter what it takes. So, this one is Marriage in Trouble, Billionaire Second Chance. A quote, "I lost you once and I never want to lose you again." Good book. Look at I love Anna's covers from the Twisted series, Kings of Sin series, Gods of the Game series, not so much from the Love series. And the last one that is currently, as I am filming out, is King of Sloth, book 4, which is a 4.5, 4 stars, something in between that. It never wanted anyone enough to chase them until he met her. Charming, easygoing, and rich beyond belief, Xavier Castillo has the world at his fingertips. He also has no interest in taking over his family's empire, much to his father's chagrin, whatever. But that hasn't stopped women from throwing themselves at him, unless the woman in question is his publicist. Nothing brings him more joy than riling her up, but when tragedy forces them closer than ever, he must grapple with the uncertainty of his future, and the realization that the only person immune to his charms is the only one he truly wants. Cool, intelligent, and ambitious, Sloane Kenningson is a high-powered publicist who is used to dealing with difficult clients. However, none infuriate or tempt her more than a certain billionaire here. With his stupid dimples and laid-back attitude, she may be forced to work with him, but she'll never fall for him. No matter how fast he makes her heart beat or how thoughtful he is beneath his party persona, he's her client, and that's all he'll ever be, right? So, Sloane and Xavier, I love Sloane so much. It's insane. Billionaire, first proximity, grumpy sunshine, he falls first, interracial. And actually, Xavier becomes Sloane's client in King of Pride. So, just so you know. Then King of Envy, which whilst you're seeing it has been released, whilst I'm filming it, it has not been released. Is there a blurb for this one? There is already a blurb out, so I'll read that one. He had everything he could have wanted, except her. Dangerous, powerful, reclusive. Vuk Markovic is notorious for shunning human interactions. Scarred billionaire rarely talks, and he has no interest in relationships outside his small but trusted circle. His only exception, her. The beauty to his beast, the object of his obsession. He saw her first, he wanted her first. But now she's engaged to his oldest friend. And the closer the wedding looms, the more he's torn between loyalty and desire. She should be his, and he might just risk it all to have her. Oh my goodness, I'm already obsessed. Beautiful, successful, glamorous. To the world supermodel Ayana Kindane leads the perfect life. Her career has skyrocketed, and she's engaged to one of New York's most eligible bachelors. What people don't know is that the engagement is only a business arrangement. He gets his inheritance when they marry. She gets the money she needs to leave her abusive agency. Pretending to be in love should be easy, until she finds herself increasingly drawn to her fiancé's enigmatic best man. Vuk thrills and terrifies her in equal measure. She knows she should stay away, but when her wedding is thrown into chaos, he's the only person she finds comfort in. Until his past catches up with them, and threatens everything they love. Okay, so this one's about Vuk and Ayana. There's a billionaire shizzle, there's the wedding stuff, don't know much. Then there's also King of Gluttony, which nothing has been we don't know anything except for the title, and then King of Lust. So yeah, the connections. So, Vivian, which book is that? Oh, I think it's this. So Vivian, Isabella, and Sloane are best friends from the get-go. Vivian gets to work for Alessandra, and so they become friends, and she's added to the friend group. Vivian and Kai are also friends. Kai and Dante meet every Thursday for a boxing match because they're friends, you know. This is so much more complicated than with the Twisted series. Kai and Dominic, sorry for the phone, I need to read. Are club friends, so from the Valhalla Club. Xavier is friends. Xavier is friends with Dante's little brother. So they know each other through that. Sloane is Ayana's publicist. and Buck from the new book and Xavier are business. They do business shizzle together. So the one thing that connects all of them is that they are all part of the Valhalla Club, which is a high society thing that costs lots of money. Then we have Gods of the Games, which currently there's only one book out, The Striker, which I have read, by the way, and I rated it 4 stars. Blurb. She's the only woman he wants and the only one he can have. Asher Donovan is a living legend, a darling in the Premier League, and arguably the greatest footballer in the world, but his reckless behavior and recent transfer have become a PR nightmare. When a feud with his rival turned teammate costs them the championship, the pair are forced to bond during off-season training. Surviving the summer shouldn't be hard until Asher meets their new trainer. She's beautiful, talented, and no matter how hard he tries, he can't take his mind off her. The only problem, she's his rival sister and completely off limits. Scarlett Dubois is a former prima ballerina whose career was cut short by a tragic accident. Now a teacher at a prestigious dance academy, but still haunted by the ghosts of her past. The last thing she wants is to spend the summer cross-training Asher Donovan. She swore she would never date a footballer again, but when she's thrown into dangerously close proximity with his gorgeous, charming striker, all bets are off. Training she can deal with, but falling in love, that's out of the question, especially when he's the only person with the power to break her heart. So Asher and Scarlett, this is sports, football, ex-ballet, brothers rival, forced proximity. I love you too, more than anything else in the universe, including Pluto. And then the next one will be released on October 28th of 2025. The Defender is about Brooklyn and Vincent. Brooklyn is Scarlett's bestie, they meet in this book, and then Vincent is Scarlett's brother. So there you go. That's all the books as is. I'm gonna lay them out so that I can easily grab all of them, because it is time to tell you about all of the connections throughout this universe, which is a long list, and I know I've already been talking for close to 40 minutes. Fuck. Sorry if this video is like basically a podcast, but if you want to know everything, stay. So Farah, Josh, and Ava. So Farah is Josh's and Ava's cousin, if I'm not mistaken. Owns the sports bar that is mentioned in King of Sloth. Nate from If Love Had a Prize is a movie star. All these girlies, the twisted girlies, completely go crazy about it. Whoa, fuck. Anyway, Sammy from If We Were Perfect is the founder of Crumble and Bake. Crumble and Bake is a bakery mentioned throughout all of these series. It's their favorite cake, basically. It's a favorite bakery. That's all. Alex is seen in both King of Pride and King of Sloth. I do not remember for what though. Bridget and Reese are seen in, I think everyone is seen in King of Wrath, because there is some type of thing going on to which all of the twisted people and stuff are invited to. And they are basically mentioned in every single book through the fact that they are a royal couple and they changed love for their love. So, no, love can conquer all. Jules and Josh are seen in King of Wrath. I already said that. Jules and Josh are also seen in, nope, this one. King of Greed. Because in King of Greed, Alessandra and Dominic are on a vacation to Brazil, if I'm not mistaken. They get on a boat to do like a diving thing, and they are also on that boat. They don't know each other in any way, but they're seen. They talk about them. Asher from The Striker and Jules out of In Twisted Hate go on a date in Twisted Hate. And then they see each other again. This time Josh is with Jules and Scarlett's with Vincent at a ballet show thingy in this one. These two are also seen in King of Wrath. Again, Stella and Ayana are really close friends, and Ayana also works for Stella's fashion line thingy. Christian is Satan King of Pride. That's not Christian. That's Christian. Satan King of Pride. Christian and Dante are friends, so you actually see them in each other's book for like a dinner, I think. Oh no, so this couple is introduced in this book. Where Stella and Christian have dinner with them at their house, I'm pretty sure. They're talking business, and you also, so in this book you see the woman's point of view of that dinner, and in this book you see the male Dante's point of view. So in this one you see Stella's, and then here you see Dante's point of view of that dinner, which is nice, because at some point the guys go off to do business whilst the girls are walking around, you know, in the extremely crazy house. Then Dante is actually also not seen, you don't know it's Dante in Twisted Hate, because he buys Josh's ugly painting, which is called Magdalena. It's a whole secret thing going on. Anyway, yeah. Sloane is Asher's publicist. Fuck owns the football team in this series. And then the members of the Valhalla Club, which is Dante from this one, and Vivian, through Dante, you know, Kai Young, and then Isabella. Isabella used to work there. Then we have Dominic Davenport, and then Alexandra Davenport, you know, because they're married. Alex, Christian, Xavier, and then Buck, and also Sebastian. Sebastian is a chef you see throughout all of these series as well. We saw him in the Striker. I think we saw him in one of these books, as in one of the Kings of Sin series books, and in one of the Twisted series book. I am guessing he will have his own book eventually, since he's mentioned a lot and he fits the universe. So yeah, that's all I have to say. If you have any other connections, do let me know in the comments so that we can all see them. I got most of my connections reminded of them through socials, like I posted a little short form about it, and then I also posted a post on the Ana Huang Facebook group, which is very fun, so make sure once you've read the book to be part of that. They'll help you pick which one to read next in case you're kind of confused, stuff like that. That's it. I hope it's clear I love her. Read her books. These are spicy romances. They are, in topics, they're new adult. In writing style, they're closer to young adult. I have to be honest in that. But I love that about it because these are such easy reads. For me at least. I love them. I should stop talking because this video is long enough as it is. Hopefully I'll see you next time. Nope. If you enjoyed it, make sure to do a thumbs up. If you did not, hate watching, which isn't fun, but maybe you just watch it for the information, not for my personality, which is fine, by the way, because not like my personality is that great. Yeah, I'll see you next time. That's it for today. Love you, bye!